So you think Nelson Mandela's the most famous man in Africa? Well, he doesn't think so.
Even state presidents feel that it's a special privilege to welcome him. And I hope that you don't feel humiliated by coming here to shake hands with me.
In a very special edition of Football Mundial, we're off to the West African state of Liberia, accompanied by the king of African football himself, Mr. George Apong Weah.
Hey, I'm George Weah. Welcome to Football Mundial, okay? Peace.
In 1995, George Weah was voted European, African and World Player of the Year. Signed by Arsène Wenger for Monaco in 1988. He moved to PSG in 1992. And for the last 4 years, he's been at AC Milan. Wherever he's played, he's scored goals and with style. But as Weah was starting his fairy tale journey, his homeland Liberia was descending into bloody civil war, an 8-year conflict which lasted until the end of 1996. Over 100,000 Liberians lost their lives, and the country now lies in ruins. Liberia is Africa's oldest democracy and was never colonized. It was founded in 1822 by the Americans so that freed slaves could return to their native continent. Liberia's capital city, Monrovia, named after US President Monroe, was once a centre for West African commerce. Now the place is devastated.
The war really damaged our country because the city itself, the entire nation is broken down, and it's very sad, you know. We Liberians, when we see our country, we know how our country used to be.
George Weah never forgot his country. He tried to use football as a means to bring the warring factions together throughout the conflict.
It was very important that none of us turn our back on our nation. Through sports, we bring about unification and reconciliation, and also we brought about peace. Because every time we come home to play, a lot of faction come together and come watch the game. So they decided, look, we can't do this anymore, you know. So if we can sit there to watch a game, while we can reunite, reconstruct common sense, and put ourselves together and rebuild our nation.
Weah can take pride in the role he and football played in helping to end the conflict. During the war, thanks largely to his money, the national team carried on playing, the one unifying force in the country. Now at least the players can concentrate on football alone. Although it's not easy, especially when it's over 30 degrees and the Football Federation hasn't provided any water.
National team. You ain't get water for the player to drink. You get to put the money. You don't pick up your own pack and go buy water for the national team. Or see that kind of thing.
But could you have first thing? Yeah, you got mineral water that my player
make you very happy.
On the training ground, there was no water. We have to go and buy our own water. So you should look at that. It's not easy because we want to do our possible best to take the country far, but with all better preparation, the country can make it.
The national stadium is in a dreadful state. It was continually ransacked. No repairs have been made. Just over a year ago, it was actually home to 1,000 refugees. For the latest African Nations Cup qualifier against Algeria, 9 European-based professionals made the journey home. As ever, they were the focus of attention. The hotel is noisy, basic and cramped, not the ideal conditions in which to prepare for such an important game. Turkey-based striker James Deba.
You see the national team, we have a lot of talented players. Individually, we do not really have a team, you know. The cohesion is not there because the fact is we don't have that much adequate preparation. We don't train together as a team, you see. Like George is in Italy, I'm always in France, and we always come in like 1-2 days before the game.
With 2 days to go before the match, there was just one Liberia player missing. These gentlemen are known as the George Weah Old School. 12 of his most trusted and loyal childhood friends. Travel difficulties had left Weah stranded in Ghana, and the old school was leaving Liberia to collect him in a privately chartered plane. Weah's homecomings are always a cause of some heartfelt celebration for his old friends.
Don't come back for the final game, our qualification match. It will not be easy.
Having missed his flight from Amsterdam to Côte d'Ivoire, Weah had taken a flight to Ghana, where his mother now lives. He hadn't seen her for 2 years, so he made sure he arrived with a nice gift.
You cut it off from here and then let go off.
Feeling a little tired, the old school arrived to pick him up. It was time to say goodbye to Mrs. Weah and the 2 youngest members of the family. Weah has 6 sisters and 4 brothers, and it's difficult for him to keep up with them all. Finally, it was time for George Weah to return home.
Most one winning, but it's very mindful. Now small side. Even the European players, they're afraid of playing. My friends, they love seeing me, that's the most important because they love me and there's no way I can run from them. And I always want to see them because these guys make me a great player. Coming home is like, it's like paradise for me.
In Liberia, he's known as King George, the richest, most influential man in the country. But the people of Liberia would be denied seeing him in action. An injury picked up in Milan meant he'd missed the game against Algeria. But it's just good for him to be home.
It's a nice thing, to smell the air of Liberia, that's a great thing, and I love it. And so every minute and every second of my life, if I'm free, I want to come back here because this is the place I was born and this is where I'm going to be, after my career, and I love it.
Weah, who's released 3 albums himself in Liberia, is always greeted home by Small Town Social, the local band which he personally finances. Even though he wasn't fit to play football, his mere presence lifted the whole atmosphere in Monrovia.
I will be with them in spirit. I'm going to motivate them. We're all going to go in the true spirit and win the game because we know what tomorrow's game means to us.
Meanwhile, back at the National Stadium, the players were having a final training session before the game against Algeria. A quick change of clothes, and George was ready to go and see them. Games like this are often the only time that the foreign-based stars get to see each other. They're special occasions, and even a kick-around with AEK Athens midfielder Kelvin Sebwe is a spectacle.
George is a symbol of Liberia all over the world. It's an example for confidence for people, to help people believe in themselves. He's also there as a role model for people in Liberia to see that I think once you believe, you can achieve a lot of things. And that's what he's been doing over the years.
Let's go.
Another part of Weah's portfolio is the Junior Professionals, a first division club founded and funded by him. They finished runners-up in the league last year. The team includes George's brother, Clarence. Another brother, Mo Low, in goal. And don't forget Moses, yet another brother. By forming the Junior Professionals, Weah's ensuring his legacy lives on, making sure that Liberia isn't forgotten when he retires.